Welcome to Rangers Daft, the Daftest Rangers podcast around. I am producer John, and let's welcome the staunch brothers themselves, although there's only one of them today, all to be explained in a minute. I was going to give you your German name, Stephen, so you were going to be Stefan Purdon, obviously.
Yes.
And our friend Graham was going to be Gunther Stevely. Obviously, a celebration of the fact that it is the Europa League semi-final.
Yes.
However, our friend Gunther has done a toll, which we call in the business a toll.
He's done a toll.
5 minutes before recording this podcast, he sent a message to me saying, I'm not making Rangers Daft, mate. I'm out at Steph's sister's for her birthday. I'll still do wrestling Daft and football Daft this week. Now, I thought, right, you know what? My fault here. I've missed a message on the group chat. Just go back.
You've no.
Well, I'm glad because I thought I'll go back and double check because it's been my fault holding my hand up here. Hold my hand up. The last message on the group chat said, I'm off all week on holiday and I never saw the game. Now, that to me doesn't say I'm not doing Rangers Daft.
That says to me he's off on holiday for the radio, but he's not saw the game, which means I'll need to explain how the game went and stuff, but he's still doing Rangers Daft.
That's or I assume from that he might go and watch the game in preparation for this podcast because he's a good Rangers.
Come on.
That's very true. So,
plus, anyway, I'm absolutely dying, mate. Not me, I'm dying.
Yes, poor Stephen there. You can hear him ill, but you know he's so devoted to the Rangers that he's on here to do the podcast and give his views on what's going on at Ibrox.
Yes, the thing that makes me feel better sometimes is talking about Rangers. You know what I mean? This could make me feel better.
Exactly. So staunch. Right. Let's kick off with some Rangers news. First of all, we didn't get a chance to speak about football Daft. It's just broken when we came off air. The Rangers and Scotland goalkeeper Andy Gorham being treated for cancer. Love to have Grado on to talk about this. He's pals with Andy. Andy Gorham's his hero. I guess from Rangers Daft, from football Daft, from everyone here, we just wish him the best luck and hope he can recover, make a comeback from it.
I was wanting to talk about that. Obviously, lots of exciting things happening on the pitch for Rangers now, but that was horrible news. Obviously, fresh off the fucking back of what happened with Walter as well. It seems to be a tough time now for ex-legends and stuff at the club. But I heard the other day that he's been moved into a hospice and stuff now, so it's not. I don't think it's looking good. And Rangers are meant to be paying for it and stuff. But that's what I've heard through. But you don't know what's true and what's not true. He's saying when we were talking about it, I think we spoke about it off air, didn't we? The other day when we were recording, and Grado was quite. Could see he is very close to Andy, so
he's really upset. I mean,
Andy always took a shine to Grado. Do you know what I mean? I've met him a few times as well, Andy, and he's a Rangers legend, and it's really sad news. But can only pray and hope that things get better for him. And all our thoughts here go out to Andy's family.
Absolutely. Let's talk Play of the Year. It was Play of the Year due there at the weekend. Stephen, just going through the who won what. Calvin Bassey, Young Player of the Year. Any arguments there? Anyone else could have contended for that?
I think if Patterson had stayed, they probably would have pushed him for it. But no, I wouldn't argue with that. I think for Young Player of the Year, I think Bassey's performances for Rangers this season, he could be pushing for Player of the Year.
I was going to say arguably Player of the Year.
He's been very, very good, especially with out of form Borna and coming in to replace Borna, then getting into be a makeshift centre half as well. So I think the he's been fantastic for Rangers, and big games to come, and I expect more big performances from him.
I know he's really coming to his own. I mean, still, I would say better as a left back as opposed to a centre half. I think Rangers would agree with that. But you know,
but he held his own, and he performed admirably. When it's no ideal when he's at centre half sometimes, but he's performed.
He's went and held his own.
You seen it in the semi final there where he started centre half, and then Borna played left back. Then Borna went off, and you see him in the 115th minute charging down when he plays left back, charging down there to set up the winning goal. I mean, the guy, his engine, his heart, his desire, and he's only going to get better.
I mean, it's been good for Rangers because obviously with the drop in form of Barisic, who, you know, start the season, we're all talking about big moves for him off the back of the Euros and what have you, and he's had that drop off in form. It's maybe coming a wee bit of return now, but yeah, it's been a standout for Rangers.
100%, 100%.
Player of the year, Players Player of the Year, James Tavernier.
Captain Fantastic.
Yeah.
I think another one that you could argue could have got Player of the Year as well. Players Player of the Year, I don't know, maybe is that more satisfying for a player for his...
You would suspect so. See, be voted by your peers.
So. By your peers, definitely. So he'll be chuffed with that. Again, 80th goal for Rangers at the weekend, which is incredible stats for a right back.
I mean, the numbers for a right back are incredible, absolutely
unbelievable. And the guy just he's probably going to finish his career at Rangers. He's been there through tough times, and he's been absolutely sensational this season again.
Do you think he will finish up his career? That's interesting.
I mean,
he's still got a few years in the game, you would say.
I don't see him going anywhere. I think he'll finish his career at Rangers, definitely. Aye.
So, player, and finally, Player of the Year, big Alfredo Morelos.
Like we're saying there, I think obviously, domestically, we lost the League Cup. We get put out the League Cup. Well, essentially lost the league. Still got the Scottish Cup and Europa to play for. I think Morelos under Gio, when Gio came in,
he started off slow, didn't he?
Really, he started off poor. He started off great for Gio. He started off poor the season. Looked a bit out of shape, a bit like his head was somewhere else when Gerrard was there. Didn't look the same player. Then when Gio came in, you're going, he was our main man again. Then he was our main man in Europe as well. And I think he probably edges Player of the Year. But like I say, I think there's a few contenders there. I think Tav's a contender. I think you could argue Bassey's a contender as well.
Rodrigo?
Maybe before the AFCON.
Yeah, before the
AFCON, yeah. It's a weird one because I think a lot of the players that we're mentioning here, they've been patchy. It's been the purple patches have came in wee blocks. Like for Morelos, it's when Gio came, Tav kind of in Europe, Morelos in Europe, Joe Aribo before the AFCON, but after that it's kind of faded away. Bassey, I think, has been maybe more consistent than any of them, if I'm being honest. But I can see why Morelos has got it. He's a big game player. He's box office. He's such a presence in the team, and it was so apparent when he wasn't there, when he got injured. Do you know what I mean? We miss him so much, and we're still trying to replace that kind of focal point in the team, and we're still getting by. Roof done a wee bit good there, and then he's injured again. So, fair play to Morelos. The wee guy, he's box office, man. Box office.
We'll get into the striker situation when we talk about the game.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rangers women playing as a pro team at Ibrox for the first time and a step closer to winning the title. Beating Aberdeen at the weekend. I mean, in all accounts, they've got a very good women's side, Rangers, at the moment. It's really come together this season.
Very good women's side, very good B team. Both of them going for their titles, and the main team's fucked it. Do you know what I mean?
We'll talk about that a bit later on as well. Right, so let's get into the A team then, not the actual TV show, but the Rangers A team. I'm sure playing Motherwell away there Saturday, early kickoff. Thank you, obviously, very much to Motherwell for accommodating Rangers for that, to give more preparation to the Europa League. Starting lineup, good few changes in there. We saw a start for Diallo, obviously working without Roof, so Sakala and Wright come into the side. Davis comes into the side. Cedric Itten comes out of nowhere onto the bench. What did you make of when you saw that starting lineup, Stephen?
Obviously, right, I had a wee bit of a debate with one of my mates on the old group chat. I think it did. Obviously, the starting lineup raised a few eyebrows, right? But I can understand where Gio's coming from. We've got a massive game Thursday. I know at that point you're hoping to get the 3 points and maybe Celtic will slip up on the Sunday. We go at the 3 points, but Celtic didn't slip up, right? But I think myself and a lot of Rangers fans have gave Gio a bit of abuse for not being proactive enough at the side, at the pitch, at the side of the pitch, making changes, blah blah blah. I think on Saturday, he got everything spot on. I think he deserves enormous credit. I think the starting lineup, I can totally get it. You've got to utilise your squad, especially in these situations when you've got a massive game on Thursday in Germany, playing in the league, and then we're going to Parkhead, and then we're back at Ibrox to play the second leg. So he got it bang on. I think he did. And then obviously, as the game unfolded, which we'll get into, I think he got that spot on as well. The way he used the squad when we went down to 10 men as well, he deserves enormous credit. And I imagine he was a very, very satisfied individual on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. It was almost like Arfield was like a false nine.
It was beautiful the way he done it in the second half, mate. It was beautiful. Like, obviously, but it's never going to be Rangers if we don't do things the hard way. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're flying in the game, you're controlling it, and then Bargain, he doesn't need to make that chat. He doesn't need to do it.
Yeah, Diallo starts. Good chance early on. Should have scored.
I should have scored. I think the way Diallo's afternoon went is just very symbolic of the way his careers went at Rangers. Do you know what I mean? So, not really much to say about the wee guy, man. I think he looks like he's got all the ability in the world, but I think it's one of the old-fashioned cases, isn't it? All the ability in the world, but you've not really got the desire and the heart. Maybe that's a bit harsh questioning that, but I get that sense for the wee guy that sometimes he just can't be arsed and he thinks he's better than what he is.
Well, yeah, so you think he's better than Scottish football. There's a few people down south have come up and thought that and then just can't deal with it.
Aye, definitely.
But I mean, Rangers started off really well. Aside from that, Diallo, good football. Comes to the goal. It was getting... Now, is it a Liam Kelly own goal? Are we going to give this to Scott Wright?
I've watched it a million times, right?
It's a weird one, isn't it?
In my head, I'm going to say it's an OG, but in my heart, I'm going to give it to Scott Wright. But initially, I thought, is it Goldson's goal? Do you know what I mean? But then... It's an OG, innit?
It probably is. It was a smooth one.
What a header for Goldson, but he done brilliant. It was beautiful. He done, man. He just wanted it so much, man.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Liam Kelly, we're giving you the OG.
Aye. Sorry,
Liam. And then we get to the sending off. No complaints.
I think. No, you can argue he gets the ball, right? Mm-hmm. There was one right after it, which was very similar. I can't remember the Motherwell goal.
That was the Jala.
Aye.
On John Scott Wright.
I do think Balogun's is a bit worse, if I'm being honest, right? But Balogun is giving the referee the decision to make there. There's no need to go in like that. It
not in the place in the park where he was at as well, you know.
It's different if he's... I don't know if it's a last-ditch thing. It's silly. I've not got any complaints, and I don't think Bargain had any complaints, to be fair, you know.
It didn't look like there was much complaints put up by him. No. I mean, it's one of those ones, I guess, as a defender, it's like, right, hold my hands up. I shouldn't have that.
It was rash.
And listen, in days gone by, it's a yellow card, you know. In
days gone by, it's a great tackle.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean? But as soon as you go to ground as a defender these days, you know, you've got to get it right.
I do think the Motherwell boys was maybe
he was lucky. He
was very lucky. Aye.
There was scissors in there, and it was like,
aye.
Could argue the sending off there. So then sending off happens. Motherwell equalise. Kamara at fault, bit dithery on the ball.
Right, Kamara for me here, right, if you watch the game, right, no just the goal, see like 30 seconds before the goal, he's got a pass he makes. He has to make it. You need to make sure he a pass. He does one of his casual-ass fucking passes. Kamara for me needs a bit up the arse on it, right? He's really bugging me. And then he gets the ball, he's very dithery on it. All just comes for Kamara, just slack play. And then, of course, we concede, and you go, I'm sitting watching the game, my feet up, enjoying it, going, this is a canter. Then you're down to 10 men, and of course, we concede. Kamara just has an absolute brain fart and just sells his jerseys. And then it's one each, and at that point, you don't know where we're going to go. You're going, this could be dodgy. But like I said, Gio deserves all the praise in the world for the way he set his stall at the second half.
I mean, Kamara's one that we talked about again at the start of the season.
He
Off the
falls
back
into the
of
same
Euro.
bracket as what you're saying about Borna.
Yeah, it's like when you look at the player value at the start of the season for the likes of Kamara, for Barisic, and we sat and talked about it on this podcast. Like
Uh-huh.
it's just shit or get off the pan. You know what I mean? In terms of
Aye.
these players, do you cash in now, or do you wait and hold on, try and win that league title? And it's not really worked out for Kamara or Barisic, and I would say their values pretty much come right down as a result of that.
Definitely, aye.
You think they'll try
Kamara,
shift them on in the summer?
I wouldn't lose sleep if we lost Kamara now. It's been a
Right.
drastic change the way I feel
Mhm.
about Kamara. He's one for me. Sometimes I feel this season, it's ever since he signed his new contract, I'm thinking when the goings go tough on the pitch, he's not a man I want in the trenches with me. Do you know what I mean? He's not
Yeah.
really, he's the type of player I go, he shies away for the battle. Very good football player, but the thing is, the position we're in the now, if he plays well Thursday, plays well following Thursday, plays well in the Europa League final, his values probably will go back up. Do you know what I mean? Because there's so much more eyes on him. But at the moment, for me, he wouldn't be near my starting 11 at times, you know.
Yeah. Obviously Davis came in as well, and he kind of showed what.
Cool hand look,
Yeah.
just very cool, very
Yeah.
cool.
He struggles to
What
get.
is it? What is it they don't like, man? Rolls Royce of a player. Rolls Royce of a player.
He just brings a calmness to that Rangers
Yeah.
midfield every single time he comes into it.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to Gio's tactical, so down to 10 men, going at half time, 1-1, down to 10 men. Tactically, he's got it absolutely spot on, hasn't he?
Oh, it's beautiful the way he's played it. He's just kind of put Sakala out in the left, right out in the right, and then just Arfield just kind of deployed as a kind of, I mean, he had a bit of a graveyard shift, Arfield. He'd have been feeling it that night because he's tracking back for him, kind of false nine, back, forward, middle, back, middle. And it worked a treat, do you know what I mean? And special shout out to Scott Wright and Sakala, players that I'm very
Here we
critical
go. Wow, I
of.
was about to
I
ask
know,
you that.
very critical of, but we're down to our bare bones now. These players need to step up and they need to do something. And to be fair to them, Scott Wright, you could argue maybe he's very involved in the first goal. That goal, second goal that he gets, just kills it, and that puts the momentum right in our favour. And Sakala was using his pace well, John. All I've asked. That's all I've asked. I just want him to use his pace well for the penalty as well. He's right in there. And then Van Bronckhorst, as I say, been quick enough to give him pelters and stuff, but he got it absolutely bang on.
It's three things you've been very critical of.
I know, Scott Wright, Sakala, and Gio.
Sakala and Gio's tactics, and right here, right now, praise.
And he's got them all bang on. They were all bang on.
Yeah,
Sakala using his pace, always a threat.
Great run.
Scott Wright, always a threat. Great finish, great run for Sakala, great finish for Wright. Gio on the sideline, just pulling the strings. Tactical noose. Do you know what I mean?
Surprised he. I mean, he obviously went to the bench because obviously, with the change with the red card, he changed it and brought on Bassi for Diallo. Surprised he didn't go for Ken or Lundstrom in there.
I think, right,
you're very much adamant that the league's done, aren't you?
The league's done, right?
You're right, we'll save these boys till Thursday.
Aye, I was having a debate with my mate at half time on the group chat, right? And he's saying he needs to change it half time. He needs to change it. One of my mates text messages were he needs to change it up top. We're not going to get anything out of Scott Wright and Sakala. Boom. Sakala makes that run, sets Scott Wright up.
So we're
all having a bit of banter about that, right?
Aye.
But see if I was like looking back now, what Gio's probably thinking, which we all should have been thinking really, instead of panicking at half time. Motherwell are very poor. They get into top six through the back door, right? Gio's probably looking at that going, right, we're down to 10 men, but surely we've got enough quality here to take care of Motherwell. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, surprisingly, 10 men as well,
as
well.
And it's like, I think we just showed we're a far better team. And surely, no using Kent and Lundstrom and Ryan Jack, etc., is going to be so satisfying for Gio as well. Knowing what's coming Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it was just a good example, probably where Rangers and I guess Celtic as well haven't been in previous season is the depth of squad and using that
Aye.
squad and using those squad players, the likes of
Yep.
Sakala and Wright, have come on and affected the game, or affected the game for starting up. So yeah, fair
Yep.
play to Rangers and Gio. Motherwell though, I mean they'll be really disappointed. I'm guessing 10 men, 1-1, and not going on to go at. But I mean
They're
Rangers,
shit.
they were Rotherwell have been Rotherwell have been
They came to Ibrox 2-0 down at half time and get a fucking 2 draw at it. Still sticks in my fucking. I cannot believe it. Honestly,
yeah.
I remember at half time at Ibrox saying to my mates, that is one of the worst teams I've seen come to this ground this season.
I remember you saying
And,
that on here, aye.
and then they came out the second half and they played brilliant and got 2 goals. They're shit though. They're shit. They're really, really. How Livingston must be absolutely.
I know.
Oh, they must be kicking themselves, man. Honestly.
I know. I mean, Motherwell supporters not happy with Graham Alexander at the moment. I guess he got them into the top 6. He's done his job, but it'll be interesting to see if they move him on the summer or if they give him the summer to refresh the squad and take it from there. But aye, it's they aren't good, and especially if you're 10, if you're 1-1 and 10 men against 10 men at home. As a Motherwell supporter or a Rangers supporter, any football supporter, you're going to be.
It was a canter the second half. It was an absolute.
That's the problem. They didn't put up much of a fight against
Rangers. A Motherwell of old. You're 10 men. You're down to 10 men. It's 1 each. Just conceded. Down to 10 men. You're coming out second half. It's a battle. You know it's a battle, but it was an absolute canter. It was a canter.
Absolutely. After the game, Gio said we had to adjust the game plan. We started off really well and we're in control of the game. With the red card, we had to switch to a different way of playing. Worked out well. You need to make sure you still create the chances, and the players did what we wanted really, really well. So, all praise from Gio, which leads us to ask the question: who is your Rangers Dafty of the week? And I think there's probably only be one option here.
Bargain.
I thought so.
Aye, it's silly.
Ranger staff rating. Now I'm interested to see who you pick here. Who will it? Come on, Stephen. Say one of the names.
Right. Do you know what? Do you know who I'm going to say? I'm going to say Scott Wright.
Wow, there it is.
I'm going to say Scott Wright. Right. If you listen back to me talking about Scott Wright, the one thing I've said a few things about him, right? But what I have consistently said is he lacks belief. Right, yeah. He lacks belief. I have also said he lacks quality and he just looks like an Aberdeen player. That's because he lacks belief, John.
Right. He's found his belief. He's found his belief, and the quality's going to come with the belief.
Because he's been brought in big games recently and he's performed admirably. All right, he's done his job. He's done well. So long may it continue. I don't want to be slagging Scott Wright. I want to be praising Scott Wright. Because if he's doing well, it means Rangers are probably doing well. So just keep it going, Scotty.
Well done. There you go. Greg would be very proud of you because I'm disappointed Gunther is not with us because he's a big fan of Scott Wright.
Stefan has praised Scott Wright and Gunther's not here.
Always jumping to the defence of Scott Wright, so he'll be gutted he's missed this. We'll definitely have to clip that off and send it to him. So Scott Wright, Rangers Daft rated.
Yes. There we go. You heard it here first.
Well, let's look ahead then, Stephen, to Thursday night's game. You excited? What a week you've got coming up here. We talked last week about, those moments that change a season. Last week, where you're in a low, you're thinking the league's gone, but then you get into the semi-final, you're into the final of Scottish Cup. It's another one of those weeks, isn't it?
It is, and I think that's why I've got the man flu. I think it's all just getting too much for me, John. Do you know what I mean? So
too much.
I really need to shake this off come Thursday. Do you know what I mean? It's huge. I was looking at a thing on Twitter, then I put it out on Twitter. Like 8 years ago today, we beat Stranraer 3-0 at Ibrox and we were in Scottish League One.
Wow.
Right? So that's how far we've came in 8 years. We're in the semi-final Europa League, do you know what I mean? But it's massive. It's massive. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just really, really hope we've still got a lot. We've still got all to play for next Thursday. I just hope we come back for Germany reasonably unscathed.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen much of Leipzig? They got beat on the weekend there.
Union Berlin beat them 2-1, didn't they? Aye.
Yeah, I mean, they were on a good run of games as well.
Aye, I think they've been in fire, haven't they, recently in the Bundesliga? One of the biggest spenders in the league as well. So it's kind of it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard, but we really haven't got anything to fear. The only thing that really are Achilles heel now, I think, is just injuries, man. It's just the squad is week by week getting more and more depleted. So it's kind of on Thursday. I don't know who's going to go because I don't think you can play Scott Wright or Sakala through the middle. I think you see at the weekend there what their strengths are. So I don't think any of them can play through the middle, and you're going to have to bring Brian Kent back into the fold. So I think it might be like a Joe Aribo or something as a false nine.
As a false nine as opposed to Arfield? Do you not think we'll use Arfield after?
I think Arfield might be in the middle. I think he'll be a false nine. I think he might be in the middle, and I think Aribo might get pushed further up. So I think Arfield's get more discipline to stick to a kind of box-to-box, defensive-minded task as well that he will need in the middle of the park. So I think you might see Joe Aribo as a false nine with Kent and either Sakala or Scott Wright, the other side. And then in the middle, I think you might see Lundstrom, Jack and Arfield, or maybe Davis. I think you'll go Lundstrom, Jack and Arfield. I think you might see Davis at Parkhead on Sunday, and I think you might see Jack, Lundstrom and Arfield in the middle. And then I think it'll be Borna, Bassey, Goldson and Tav at the back.
Yeah, I mean, the danger men for them is Nkunku, 30 goals in all competitions this season. I mean, his previous best was 7 in one season, and he's got 30 goals.
He's obviously been watching a lot of Morelos.
Well, obviously that is 7 in the Champions League, and obviously Leipzig dropped down into the Europa League.
Mm-hmm. I was reading something there as well. This is like it. Before we came on there, I was reading like it's just right. 3 games to win the Europa League, and then you go into pot 1 of the Champions League draw.
Yeah,
it's what I'm sitting here shiting myself.
I mean, on the plus point from Rangers' perspective, they've got a few suspensions to key players. Campbell's out.
2 centre halves in it.
Yeah, Simikin's out. They've been really, really good for them. I mean, you look at Leipzig, 16 games unbeaten in the Bundesliga as well. They're no mugs, Leipzig. And
no. We've got a harder tie than like West Ham playing Frankfurt. We've got a hardest route to the final.
Yeah, you would have had Frankfurt any day of the week. In fact, would you have had West Ham before you would have had?
Probably.
Would you have?
Aye, probably, because I've seen enough of West Ham. They're not.
You can get at them.
They're a very rigid, well organised machine. Do you know what I mean? But they're not a team I look at and go, the football this mob play. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I look at them and go, I think you throw into the mix as well. It's the whole Battle of Britain thing. I think we'd be right up for that. I think we can have a battle as well. The Rangers players are we can roll our sleeves up and get stuck in. Do you know what I mean? So I think it would come to that with West Ham. It might come to that in the final, but I think I'd rather play Frankfurt or West Ham than play Leipzig.
Yeah, I mean, they're behind in the Bundesliga, behind Bayern, Dortmund and Leverkusen, as you would probably expect. But I mean, they're there and thereabouts, you know. I mean, they've got a chance of getting third this season in the Bundesliga.
And you just seen the quality of Leverkusen last season. Do you know what I mean? It's Leverkusen are a very good outfit, and they took care of us.
But then you've taken care of Dortmund. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
You took care of Dortmund. So I mean, it really is. It could go either way. It's just you think with Rangers, if they had Morelos or even Roof, I mean, it's just going to.
Well, I'm saying Roof might be back for the game at Ibrox.
Right, so he might be back for the game, which is positive. But I mean, going away there, which you're probably going to play defensively anyway. Let's not beat around the bush. You know, you can under Gio to get in. You know, especially looking at Borussia Dortmund away, which is incredible. But yeah, like you say, it's going to be interesting to see what lineup goes out there and how he plays that. False nine's the only way he can really go, isn't it?
It needs to be, and I think, like I say, back to goal, wee bit of hold up play. It's no Sakala, Kent or Wright's game, so I think it's going to, with no Roof there. We've seen what Sakala done playing through the middle against Braga. away, it's not his game.
No.
And Itten has been in cold storage for how long now? So I would personally, if it was me, I would go with Aribo as a kind of false nine, as I say, with Arfield, Jack and Lundstrom just behind him, and then Kent and Wright or Sakara either side of them. Definitely Kent. Then it's a toss-up between either Wright or Sakara to play the other side of him.
Yeah. What are you watching the game?
I don't know yet. I've not spoke to the boy. We've not made a decision yet. I need to get over my man flu first and see what's happening. But I will definitely be with my fellow friends.
Good. You think pub, or are you thinking around at somebody's house?
No, in a house.
In the house. In the house.
Definitely.
And what is the score going to be?
3-0 to Rangers.
After all that chat, 3-0 Rangers. 3-0 Rangers.
No, I think it'll be score draw.
Score draw. 1-1, 2-2.
Aye, something like that. I don't know. I'm so nervous.
So nervous. So that's Thursday night. Nervous about that. Obviously, big final, what you say, Champions League.
On to the easy fixture.
And then on to the easy fixture, which is Celtic away on Sunday.
I mean, it's basically if Celtic win this game, they've won the league. So that's going to be...
You've conceded the league's already gone. So...
Aye, but then... No, it is already gone. But then if they win this...
Has it, Stephen, right? Let's just say Rangers win. They are...
It's 23 points.
It's 23 points.
With how many games to go? 3?
With 4 games?
4 games. No.
3 games.
3, aye. So...
Rangers, Dundee United at home. Rangers, Ross County at home. Then Hearts away in the last game. Right? Hearts would more than likely Hearts have not got anything to play for really now, apart from the pride. Maybe resting players ahead of the Scottish Cup final as well.
Aye, so that logic goes as well when they need to go to Parkhead.
Well, but does it? Because
John, I love what you're trying to create here, right?
I'm trying to get you excited. Because when they go to Parkhead, it's the 7th of May. That's 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. It's asking a lot of this squad, you know. It is. It's asking a lot. Because, as I say, we're doing to our bare bones, man. Basically, the biggest majority of the 11 that plays on Thursday are going to play on Sunday as well. Unless Gio then does what he done at Motherwell. And we go down there and we make wholesale changes and bring in like fucking Leon King and Lowry, etc. Itten, God knows, right? But I don't see that happening because if we go down there and get beat, like I say, it goes to 9 points with 3 games to go, plus that goal difference they've got. So basically, it's effectively they've won the league, right?
Oh yeah, if they win.
So that's kind of incentive for us. You don't want to lose an Old Firm game and basically handing your rivals the title as well. So I'm hoping we could down there and win. Do you know what I mean? But
would you take a draw? No, you can't take a draw. You need to win.
We need to win.
But then it's that knife edge. It's like, because you've got Europe. I guess again, we talked about it, and I said, I was wrong. I said if Rangers win, they'll lose the game against Celtic, and I was wrong, to be fair, because you went on and beat Celtic as well. But it's that balancing act, isn't it? It's like, if you get a good result in Germany, what do you do on the Sunday? Do you just take that gamble and put in King, put in Lowry, and look for young players to kind of come through?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to be Gio now. I don't know. Because it's a lot of pressure on him, because the Rangers fans aren't going to accept getting down there.
Of course they're not.
With wholesale changes and just getting ran over, do you know what I mean? And just Celtic win the league, basically. But I don't think this squad's going to go down there and do that. I think this squad, we've got a wee bit of momentum now after the semi-final, after what we've done against Braga, semi-final against Celtic. We looked very assured. All right, with a wee 15, 20 minutes, it was ropey in the first half against Motherwell when Balogun gets sent off. But if we get a decent result on Thursday, it keeps the momentum going, and then a good game maybe to have after that is playing Celtic, where they know if they lose that it might G them up. Do you know what I mean? You just keep that going, man, and just I can't. That's just how I'm well.
You'd rather had Ross County at home, to be fair, wouldn't
trust the Scottish, yes, the SFA to put that there, man.
I know. I know. Oh, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so what's the score going to be on Sunday, Stephen?
2-1 to Rangers.
2-1 to Rangers. See, the confidence is there. The confidence. And then next week,
Needs to be.
oh, imagine next week. Yeah, we're going to win the league. Come on.
Oh, man. Don't. Oh.
Listen, we're going to let you get off to your bed, Stephen Purdon.
Chance would be a fine thing, John.
What the kilt walk for a brilliant cause. You know,
Yes.
you're on here, you're doing Rangers Daft.
It's when Grado's resting his brain.
Exactly. You've got a big week in football, which you're stressing yourself out about. I can hear the stress coming through in this podcast right here. So we'll say thank you very much for listening to Rangers Daft. Make sure, if you want to be a guest pundit, we didn't actually have a guest pundit on this week, but you can be a star of Rangers Daft by signing up to our Patreon, patreon.com/football daft. Come on, join me, Stephen, and Grado and chat about the Rangers.
Yes.
Listen, we need to talk about the moment of the week poll on the Football Daft.
How's that looking?
You can still vote. I tell you what, it could go either way. Get on voting now. Currently in the lead is Goal for the Opposition, which was put by Stephen Purdon, 35%. Hartson's Book of Offsides at 27%, as put forward by our listener. McGee Needs McGee's is only at 11%, which is very disappointing.
Oh.
And Stephen's drunk tweeting is in the mix as well, as nominated by Chris Toe at 27%. So it could go.
That's a tight one this week, isn't it?
Right, so get voting on your Football Daft moment. We'll be back, of course, on the main show this week with Chris and Grado. Hopefully, if he can be arsed turning up. And we'll be talking Hibs. I think we've got to talk Roy Keane. We've got to, on Football Daft Focus. This is box office if this happens in Scotland.
Do you think we could get him on?
Oh, aye, we'll just get him on. Maybe when he comes up here, but I'll be interested to see how that unfolds. But we're going to speak to someone from Hibs and find out what's been going on at Easter Road, because it's all over the place there at the moment. So yeah, get voting on that. We look forward to speaking to you on the Made podcast come Friday. Rate, review, do whatever you can to support the podcast. Football Daft, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. Remember, exciting stuff coming up. We're going to be having, hopefully, if Rangers aren't in the final, well, maybe not hopefully, maybe have a FIFA night, depending on...
the owner of the Princess Bar, Victoria, was part of our group that walked the Kill Walk on Sunday, so she is aware of the situation that could arise if Rangers reach the final.
Exactly. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. And big news hopefully coming soon about a live show, which is very exciting. So that's it on Rangers Daft. Until next time, Stephen, go and try and relax. I know it's going to be hard. This week's going to be tough for you. I can't wait. You
don't need this man flu, John.
You don't need the man flu on top of your stress.
No.
So until next time, hopefully you'll be a happy boy this time next week. But what do you say?
We are the people.
Audio Frontier.